Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Selinalovestoknit. Today I'm starting a new project vlog because I decided to knit the Oda Vest by Skull Studio. So in today's video you can expect first of all information about the pattern. I'm going to talk about the yarn I'm using. I'm also showing you little clips of me knitting the Oda Vest. And of course in the end, hopefully, I am happily finished and I will show you a few clips where I'm styling the Oda Vest and how I like to wear it. Yeah, so maybe let's start by talking about the pattern. I'm gonna blend in pictures. I first heard of the Oda Vest by Skull Studio through Phoebe. She's another YouTuber, and I just thought the look of the vest was really nice. It was classic, and it also includes like loads of stitches and like knitting techniques I've never done. And since I would like to slowly start into the whole cable knitting, structured knitting field, I thought the vest would be a really nice practice piece. And yeah, I bought the pattern on Skull Studio's website. I think they're like a fashion brand that also does some knitting patterns. They also have a really nice book, but for now I thought I'd just buy this one pattern I'm interested right now and knit that, and then yeah, I can always decide to buy the whole book if I'm like that excited about all their knits. Yeah, so the Oda Vest, I'm gonna pick up the pattern real quickly. So the Oda Vest is a vest that is knit up bottom up. So that's also something I've never done. So that's also really cool to practice, I guess. And for the different techniques, and that's also something I've never done. I've never knitted anything with a chart. So now that I told you everything about the pattern, or like the basics about the pattern, I want to talk about the yarn I'm using. So I'm actually, for this project, using the recommended yarn, which is the Handwerksgarn by Hjeltholt Ullspinnerie. In my previous video, or not, maybe that's not even the previous video, I'm not really sure when this is going to go live, but in my like 9 cabled knits I'm excited about, or something like that, video, I also talked about the Oda Vest and the yarn, and that I really wanted to knit with that yarn and feel it. And I since then have been to that yarn store in Hamburg where I bought the yarn. So I'm going to show you which color I chose. That's the color I chose. So it's this Kastanjebrunn, that's the one I chose. It is this really nice brown, deep brown color. And maybe you can, I hope you can see that on the camera, that the yarn is quite fluffy. Yeah, I really much like it. It is a mixture of Falkland merino, so maybe from the Falkland Islands, I think, and then also Gotland, like sheep's wool, that's not merino wool, yeah. And it is quite, yeah, it has like a scratch to it, definitely. But the sample I felt in the yarn store in Hamburg was super, super soft. And the lady that like showed me where the yarn is and everything, she told me that it gets softer and softer with every wash. So yeah, I'm super excited. I really like the color, I really like the feel of it. It was so hard to decide because obviously they also have really nice bright colors. So in the beginning I thought I would maybe knit the vest in a bright red color. I'm gonna blend in pictures of that one. And I was like about to buy it, and then kind of like my stomach feeling said like, no, you actually want the brown one. Now one thing I did, which I think maybe was a big mistake, I only bought 3 skeins. And the pattern recommends 4 skeins for the first size. So I'm kind of, yeah, I might have to buy another skein. But since for the last, I don't know, like many projects I did last year, I always had leftovers. Like and also like not just like half a ball, but maybe like 2 or 3 balls left over, because I tend to use more like, I tend to knit more cropped versions. I thought that maybe I could get away with only 3 skeins. Yeah, we will see. Maybe I have to order another one. Yeah. And I also did not talk about the length of that skein, so it actually is 200 meters over 100 grams. And yeah, now I'm going to talk you through what I've done and how it looks and all that. I'm first going to talk about the little list I did. So the chart actually shows you what you have to do, and you do basically the same stitches on the front and the back. So you basically repeat every row that is written in the chart 2 times. Yeah, so I wrote this list where I can basically cross off every row that I did. There's 12 rows, and I have now completed these 12 rows 1 time, and I'm now on the 2nd row of the 2nd time doing the chart. Yeah. And I'm now going to show you how it looks like, because it looks so cool. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, so that is how much I have been knitting now. As you can see, I shortened the ribbing quite a bit, and I also did not leave in all the stitch markers. I did put one in for the end of or the beginning of round, so that I know when is actually over. And you start the round with the, I think that's the moss stitch, I hope I'm right. And I've never done it, and it's so pleasing to touch that. I don't know, these little bubbles that are created, I really like them. I really would like to knit something with only that stitch. I think it looks really nice. And then you have that first cable. I've done cables in the Brady Loop sweater, so yeah, I know how they are done. So then there's this next part after the cable. There comes this like big part that's like going in the front. And I have never knitted that kind of structured knit. And yeah, as you might be able to see in the beginning, especially the stitches that are leaning to the left side, they're quite wobbly. So maybe you can see that this stitch here, it just looks really wobbly, whereas the other one looks quite okay clear. And that is something that I kind of like accepted. And then at one point I was like, well, no, you know what? I'm just gonna try to ask YouTube how it's done. And then I also could not find a really good video on YouTube. And then I thought, hey, doesn't Petite Knit have lots of videos where some of the stitches that you have to do for her sweaters are explained? And I remembered that I think it is the Dagmar style knits that have also a similar, or maybe like the exact same stitches. And I found a video where that is shown, and I then understood how I have to do it, that it looks a little bit cleaner. I don't know if I can get it to like that crisp look, but I think I improved since I did it a bit differently. Yeah, so that is one thing that I have to say about the pattern. If you are a beginner, I think the stitches are not really well explained. They're explained to people like who maybe know how they're done, then it's obviously fine. But if you've never done them, they don't really hold your hand, which is okay. I found the resources. I found a video where it's explained. But if you do not have like internet nearby, you cannot just take the pattern and knit it if you've never done these stitches. That's maybe one thing that has to be kept in mind. Other than that, I think it's really easy. Once you get a hang of it, and once you know the repeats, it is quite easy. Yesterday I knitted on this pattern like for hours and hours and hours, and I kind of did not have that list yet. And I got confused a few times, so I definitely lost a few rounds there because I had to rip back and do it again because I had confused stuff. So really, for people who get confused or who do not take like responsible notes in their phone, they should do like I think an analog list. And I'm really trying to tell myself, Selina, do that next time right off from the beginning, because yeah, it would have saved me a lot of hours of ripping back and then doing it again and then being wrong again. Like, that's really frustrating. But yeah, up until now, I really love how it looks. I'm excited. It is going quite okay, quick, I guess. And it actually, I don't know, it really keeps me invested, like having the change of techniques every now and then like this like bubbly moss stitch. It's super easy. Then the cables, obviously, yeah, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention when there's another turn, and if the turn is like leaning backwards or forwards. And yeah, the middle part, I'm like really, yeah, I'm excited to see how that is going to look further up if I have been practicing more. But for now, yeah, it's a super fun knit. I really like it. I'm super excited to continue, and I'm going to take you along while doing so. Okay guys, I'm back with a little update. I've been knitting for a few hours and I wanted to show you how far I've come. It's like quite late in the evening, so I'm using like the indoor lights obviously, so I'm not really sure how good you can see my progress, but that's how far I've come. I now completed the chart the second time, and yeah, it's been really easy with the list and like keeping track like that of the rows, and also yeah, it looks like quite a big progress actually, so that's quite cool. And yeah, I'm super excited to continue tomorrow evening. I'm not really sure how much I can film throughout the week, but yeah, we will see. I'm trying to keep you updated from time to time, maybe with some like shots where I'm gonna do like a voiceover, so yeah, we will see. But that's how far I've come. And this stitch area, like I said it before, but I I like it even more if it turns bigger. I think it looks so cool. And yeah, I'm quite excited how much the whole thing is gonna grow. I kind of like feel like it's gonna be really big. Yeah, and I actually also have some like holes in this stitch here, like at the tips of these like like, what are these? In Germany you would say Waben. Not really sure how they're called, but like on top of these two triangles, that's how I would describe them. There were like some holes, but yeah, we will see how that's gonna block out. Yeah, I'm gonna continue for like a few, maybe like 1 or 2 rows, and then I'm gonna go to sleep for today. Hi guys, I'm back with a little update. I've been knitting for a few days now and I wanted to show you how far I've come. So this is how much I've been knitting. I finished my first skein of yarn here where this little yellow greenish marker is. So that's how much I was able to knit with one skein of yarn, and now I started the second one. And yeah, I'm already getting kind of nervous. Yeah, I'm quite sure that I have to order new yarn to finish the project, but yeah, we will see. I'm still okay with trying and then maybe waiting a few days to be able to finish it when I'm waiting on the yarn then. But for now, I'm trying to knit it with 3 skeins and we will just see how it goes. I'm still really happy with everything. I know that I have confused some of these stitches, but I feel like you can't really see any big irregularities, so I'm not going to like frog bag or anything. I definitely perfected the stitches here in front. They look much cleaner here than they look down here where I started, where I was doing it kind of wrong. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do a few more rows. My list looks like this now and it's been so helpful. Yeah, it's really cool. I can just cross off whenever I do one row, and I'm also looking back at the chart sometimes, but for most of the times I am remembering what I have to do. And it's also kind of logic if you understand like in which way the stitches are supposed to be leaning. You kind of, or like at least I do, I know then what I have to do, and that's really cool. In the beginning I was not really sure if I would be able to get to that point where it would be logic to me, but I have gotten to that point, so that's quite cool. Yeah, the cables, the 2 cables, they're also looking really cool, I feel like. And yeah, now I just remembered that I did not use a microphone, so I really hope you can hear me. There's some sort of a buzzing sound or like a beep sound going on in our apartment, and we can't really pinpoint where it's coming from, so if you hear that, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update, and now I'm going to continue knitting and I'm going to continue watching Young Sherlock on Amazon Prime. That's kind of like a series I've been watching for the past few days. Yeah, I really like, sometimes really like historic series with like different costumes, different colors that I used, and yeah, it's just quite enjoyable to me. And yeah, I'm gonna continue doing that and I'm gonna update you along the way. But for now, that's how far I've come, and yeah, it's still so much fun knitting that project, and yeah, I kind of feel like I'm into textured knits now, like really much. I catch myself thinking about what could I do next, like The whole Dagmar series from Petite Knit never really excited me, I don't know, but now kind of thinking about it, especially the Dagmar jacket, or maybe not that jacket, but like a similar textured knit jacket. I see myself knitting this Siri cardigan. I was talking about this in my 9 patterns that I really like to knit that are like cable knits or 9 cable knits, something like that. Yeah, we will see what I end up knitting, but yeah, it's so cool. Like, I was talking to my best friend yesterday. She was visiting me and I showed her this project, and obviously she was really like, wow, amazing, how's that done? I could never do that. Obviously, for someone who does not knit, this looks like so complicated and so hard and everything. And then I showed her the chart and she was like, what? I do not understand anything. This is so small. And that's something I have to say, like, the chart is so extremely small. I don't really get it why you would make it that small. Like, I think I do not have really bad eyes. I do, since now I do not need, or up until now I did not need a like glasses or anything, but it's really small. For me to really see it, I have to like put it quite up front, and I don't know. I don't really get it why you would do such a small chart. But nevertheless, yeah, what I wanted to say, I'm quite proud that I'm actually able to knit with a chart now, because that like opens up opportunities for so many other patterns that I was like scared of, or was thinking like, no, I could never do that because I do not know how to read charts. Obviously every chart I guess is a bit different. Not really sure, are they all the same? Well, I'm gonna find out, but I kind of feel like I can learn to knit with even other charts. And yeah, as always, YouTube has been so helpful. If I do not know how to do something, I'm just like Googling it or asking YouTube, and that has been like quite a big resource. Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. See you later. Hi guys. Yeah, it's Sunday today and I have a little bit of time left. I just spent, I think, like 4 hours editing my next knitting podcast episode. I always get into like a really deep rabbit hole where I forget everything around me. But my alarm just rang in my phone, and so I knew I had to put down the editing stuff, and I'm gonna use my kind of leftover time that I have until my partner gets back from his long run to share a little update. So I'm still knitting on the Oda Vest, more or less every day. My list is still working really well. I did one mistake with one cable repeat that is actually kind of visible. I'm going to show you. It is like this cable turn here, where I think I did the cable turn like too late, and then I had already done another cable turn when I realized that this one was kind of off, so I ripped back and then I had to do it again. And obviously, yeah, that's how it's looking if you're ripping back, or at least with me, I don't know. But I hope with blocking and soaking it after finishing, I hope it's gonna look a bit clearer or cleaner. And technically, how I see it right now, it's actually on the back, so that's not that it bothers me. It does not bother me that much. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna change the camera angle now a little bit so that you can see me standing up. And then we're gonna look at the length, and I'm gonna try on the Oda Vest to see how much I have to knit until I separate for armholes. Yeah, really excited to see how that's looking. It feels like it's kind of really big. So I'm a bit scared that's gonna be like way more oversized than I thought it would be, but we will see. Right now I feel like this is maybe a good spot where it would sit. But I'm gonna obviously look at the footage and like kind of get a feeling. Like do a little measurement here. Okay, so it's 25 centimeters. Interesting. I think the pattern says to knit up until 30 centimeters. So that would be, yeah, exactly 5 centimeters more. To then start separating for sleeves and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I also thought about blocking it now so that I could see how much it's gonna grow lengthwise. Yeah, I definitely know it's gonna grow quite a bit, like width-wise, because that's like kind of like the feeling I get with the whole cable and like this crossover stitch here. Yeah, so that's how it's looking, you guys. I'm really excited. Cool. Hi guys. I thought I would update you a little bit on what I've been knitting on. Last time I showed you where I separated for front and back piece, and I finished the back piece, and I thought that would be the perfect time to show you the ribbing and the decreases and talk a little bit how I'm tracking that part of the pattern. Yeah, so here it is. Yeah, that is the back piece, and I guess I'm gonna show you the decreases, the decreases. And that is how they are shaped, how they are done. And as you can see here, the ribbing is starting right here, and it's continuing. And yeah, this part here is the part where the decreases are done. And for the decreases, it's a set of 4 rows, which you are supposed to repeat, I think 5 times. And you knit together 3 stitches on every first row of these 4 rows on both sides, and that's how, yeah, the armhole is shaped. And I use the pattern to make the little cross-off notes for the decrease rows, and I used my other list to keep track of the chart. So I've done like one panel where it says back piece and one panel for the front piece, and that's how I'm keeping track of the chart. And yeah, so that I know when I have to do like cable turns, and obviously also then know like how much I've done the chart, how many times I've done the chart, and then I can compare it to the front piece as well. Yeah, and that's been helping a lot. Like, I really like that setup. And yeah, I'm really keen to see, like I think I said that like many times now, but with like the back piece being done, it's huge, you guys. This is really big, and I'm really keen to see if that is way too big for me, how that is looking like. I also did, like, I'm not sure if I told you last time I talked to the camera, I also did a mid-block section, like a little mid-blocking session, where I put the piece under running water and squeezed it a little bit so that like some water is got into the wool, and then I just laid it flat and let it dry, because I was interested to see like, is it going to grow like immensely. And yeah, I also wanted to know, like, I did that one mistake in a cable turn and I had to redo that, and I really wanted to know if that would look better after blocking. And I also had one part in this like garter stitch section. I learned now that this is called garter stitch for some people, and for other people it's called moss stitch. I hope I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. How is this called for you? Like, what's the name of that stitch? I'm not really sure. But I guess in the pattern it's called a garter stitch. And in that section on one side, I think it is, yeah, it is on the, now on the, no, this is the front side. Why is it here? Oh man, I'm confused. Or was there like a even worse section? I'm confused. I kind of thought that I did switch the front and back to kind of like hide this mistake so that it would be on the back, but now it's kind of like on the front part. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I also was interested to see if that would like disappear while blocking. It did not disappear. But I guess it's not that big of a deal. It's going to be on the sides and it's going to be fine, but I'm kind of confused. I thought I switched the sides up because up until now they are both the same, so I could still just use the back piece as the front piece now. Yeah, which is also interesting. I'm kind of scared that it's just gonna look really big and like, I hope it's not looking like a potato sack on me. I'm kind of scared because I thought like maybe the front piece would be a bit smaller, but actually in the pattern it says you're supposed to do the front piece exactly like the back piece up until a certain point. So yeah, we will see. I'm just gonna knit to pattern, and then later on I can still maybe frog bag or like gift it to someone else. But like I hope I really hope it fits me, and I hope all the work is gonna be worth it somehow. Yeah, I really hope that's the case. And if I would knit this next time, obviously this is the smallest size, so I guess I could somehow make it smaller with a little bit of math, but yeah, I'm kind of sad that it's not a bit smaller and that it's like appearing to be super, super, super wide and big. But yeah, we will see. Well, I'm yapping again. I'm really sorry. I think that's all I wanted to show you and tell you and talk about today. I'm going to continue knitting now, and I guess I'm going to talk to you again once I finish the front piece, and then I'm going to talk about how these two pieces are then like going to be done a bit differently for the back and the front, I guess, in this whole neck shaping area. Not sure. I've not read the pattern up until that point. I just read the part where what I'm like knitting right now. So I'm not really sure how the next steps are, but once I've come to that point, I'm obviously going to take you along and show you everything. And yeah, now I'm just going to continue knitting. See you next time. Hi, today is Sunday. I just got back from a weekend at my friend's. I was super tired when I got back, but now I recovered a little bit and I started knitting on my Oda Vest again. I thought I would just quickly update you on how much yarn I have left and where I'm at. So this is how much I have left, and I kind of have the feeling that it's not going to be enough, because in the next clip I'm going to show you where I'm at with the front and back piece and how much I still have to knit. I think I should start thinking about ordering another skein, but then on the other hand I feel like I would not use up that other skein. I'm not really sure what I should do, because I really would like to finish this week and then take it on my vacation, which I'm going on Saturday. So I think I should decide today if I'm ordering another skein or not, because it has to get to my place and I have to like start knitting on this. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But now I'm going to show you how far I've come and how much I still have to knit. So this is the front piece. I finished this during my last clips. You already saw that. I realized that I did not start with the back piece, but I started with the front piece. But that's fine, because it is literally done the exact same way. So this is the front piece. It measures now about 49 centimeters. And the back piece, which I'm knitting on right now, I still have to knit another, I guess 10 to 15 centimeters, because this is supposed to be longer than the front piece. And then I still have to knit, let's look at the picture. The whole collar, and I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to finish this with only that much yarn. But I kind of, I'm so unsure. I'm so unsure if I should order yarn or if I should just try to finish it with this ball of yarn, which then would be just perfect. But right now I tried it on, and it is kind of short-ish. It does not sit as oversized as it does on the pattern pictures. So as you can see, this sits maybe like at least, as she's wearing it, it might be sitting even like below
the waistline. And for me, it's now sitting more like on top of my waistline. And I'm not really sure if that would look kind of weird. Yeah. I'm also thinking about blocking this before putting in the color, to see like how much it is stretching out and how loose the color then would like sit maybe. And I'm also thinking about, well, this all has to do with like how much yarn I'm gonna have left over, or if I even have any leftover yarn. But I think I would also like to knit like a folded over color that is going to be like a bit more sturdy than this one. I think this is just like one layer of knitting, I guess. Yeah, I'm so excited, but I'm also really scared that I messed up with only buying 3 skeins, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep you updated, and I'm just gonna continue knitting, and I'm gonna continue watching a vlog about a woman who is renovating a house in Norway. Because that's what I like to watch when I'm knitting, and when I'm not watching like knitting podcasts. Sometimes I just like to watch other stuff as well, and obviously also I sometimes knit to just absolute white noise. Hi guys, I'm back with a little struggling update. I've got my wool. I continued knitting on the front piece, and yeah, I just started the neckline shaping, and somehow this looks utterly wrong. Yeah, first of all, I think I switched the right and the left side, so I should have done this sort of shaping on that side. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think the pattern starts with the right side, so if you look at it, that's the right side, so maybe I did it right, but I'm unsure. And now you're supposed to do something else on the left shoulder or left neckline, and it just looks super weird to me. First of all, as you can see, so this is done with short rows, and as you can see, there's like, I tried to figure out how to see if there are the two sides are the same. So as you can see, there's this diamond shape here. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I have this kind of like edge, and I'll have that here as well. So two diamonds, one here, and this is here. So that's like already kind of wrong, because up here it's not completed, and here it is completed. I don't know. And maybe, yeah, today I'm really tired, and I kind of feel like I'm not really set up to a success today. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that, look at it freshly tomorrow, or maybe like on vacation when I'm just chilled and I have more brain capacity to read the pattern. Yeah. I also watched Phoebe's vlog again to see if she maybe shows that stage of the pattern, but she just shows it really briefly, and I already got a really good tip from her. So in Phoebe's vlog, she talked also about the short row shaping, and she said that when she knit this pattern the first time, she did a mistake where she wasn't really sure about the turns. And so that was a really good tip. So you actually do the short row shaping, and whenever it says it's like a new row, you actually turn and you don't knit the short row, like the turning stitches, you don't knit them. So you do a bit like this, and then you knit across all of them, like not exactly all over them, but like you knit across this like last part at least, and that's only when they're done. So that was really helpful, but for this side, I'm completely lost and I don't really know, like, yeah, I'm definitely not finishing this today. I'm gonna have to take it with me on vacation. And I'm also not going to be able to block it, obviously, because, yeah, it's not gonna be done today. Really frustrating, really sad, because up until now I found that the pattern was really clear. The instructions were really clear, I understood everything, and now I am super confused. So yeah, we will see. I'm just, just gonna look at this with a fresh mind tomorrow or within a few days. We will see.
Hi guys, so this is Editing Selina talking to you. I unfortunately lost the audio from this clip, but as you can see, I redid the shoulder shaping. I ended up redoing the right side there, and this concluded in them looking more similar, but still I kind of thought the right side was more defined. These two diamonds on the edge of the neckline, they were kind of cinched in, but they were there, whereas on the left side there was only this one little one down there and the other one was just half there. Yeah. In the end, I redid the left side as well. I have no footage of that, but they in the end looked more, so the left side looked more similar to the right side, but still they weren't perfect. But I just left it there because, yeah, I did not ended up making them super perfect. Hi guys, I am back with an update, and as you can see, my vest now looks a bit different. Yeah, you might be able to see that this stitch here is much more defined here than it is on this side. Yeah, I just decided to not care that much about that because I was not gonna redo anything. I was just happy that it was looking evenly. And since I am picking up stitches around the neckline to shape the color, I thought it would not be that important for it to be exactly the same. Yeah. Once you've done these two shaping processes, you knit the back and the front together with Kitchener stitch. Yeah, so there is no extra shaping on the back. And what happens if you've done that is that the line that you created with the Kitchener stitch actually slips back on the shoulders. So the seam of the shoulder does not sit right exact on the middle of the shoulder, it sits more like on the back of your shoulders. Yeah. And now everything I have to do is pick up stitches around the neckline, and then I can start knitting on the collar. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a collar that is folded over, so I'm gonna have to rethink how I'm gonna do that, because I think in the pattern the collar is just
Like you pick up stitches and then it's just you bind off. That's it. But I would like to have like a double folded color. Yeah, that maybe a like folded over color would be more wearable for me, or more flexible. Like, yeah. And also I would like to wear it now, like in the evening time, over a t-shirt, and I feel like a turtleneck, somewhat turtleneck, mid turtleneck color would just be a bit warm, and also maybe a bit scratchy on my neck. Yeah, and I think like a folded over color looks just a bit more neat, and that's what I like to do for this garment. Yeah, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna pick up the stitches to then fold it over the color. And yeah, I'm gonna show you then how.
Hi guys, I'm back with a little update. So as you can see, I started knitting the collar and I now knitted a few rounds, and I just wanted to put it on and see how it's looking and if I still feel like sure that I want a folded over color. And yeah, I'm still sure. I think I'm gonna knit like double that size, then fold it over and then look at it, and yeah, then do like my final decision to actually do that. Yeah, it's also the first time I put the vest on, and yeah, I'm really excited to finish this. I'm super excited to see how this is blocking. So I hope I can remember to put it on then once the color is done and show you how it's looking, and then also like do a comparison and put it on afterwards, and then like so that you can guys see the difference and how the wool is like reacting to water, like how much it's blooming, and also how the pattern like maybe changes a bit, like the sizing of the pattern, I guess it's gonna change a bit. Hi guys, I continued knitting on the collar. That is how it's looking. I actually put on one of these t-shirts I imagined wearing this vest with, so that I can just see how it is looking in like a whole outfit. I now did try it on in front of the mirror and looked at the collar, and yeah, I'm just now trying to decide if I want it to be a really thin collar or a bit bigger one that is a bit more prominent. But since I really want to wear this now, and also in the like kind of like transitional time from summer to autumn to winter, I feel like I would get more wear out of it if it is more like a smaller color that is not that big, that is not too warm on the neck. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go with like a really small one, but so far I really like the fit of it. I'm really happy with the color. I feel like
I told you in the beginning of the video, this brown color, I never had anything in my wardrobe that is that color. And yeah, now that I can actually put it on and see it like on me, I feel like it's a really good fit and I'm quite happy with it, and I'm super excited to wear it with maybe like a little bit of makeup on and then like a lipstick and earrings, and put it into like a whole outfit. And yeah, I'm now gonna like figure out if I'm gonna knit 1 or 2 more rows or if it is okay like this, and then I'm gonna fold it over and just knit it on the inside of this garment. I'm gonna show you how I'm doing that, and then it's time for blocking, I feel like.
Hi guys, so in this part of the video I'm gonna talk about my vest with a few weeks apart from me finishing this garment. I had multiple occasions to wear it. To be honest, I've been wearing this almost every day. I've been wearing it to work, I've been wearing it on my trip to Paris, I've been wearing it when just going out, and it has been an amazing garment for me to wear. I so much enjoy wearing this with a t-shirt under it when it's a little bit warmer. If it is a bit chilly, I'm just putting on a long sleeve and maybe a jacket on top of it. And yeah, the material has been holding up great. There has been no pilling on the outside of the Oda Vest. There are some little pilling bubbles on the inside, especially on the area where the vest is moving on my hip. But on the outside there is no sign of pilling, which I feel like is just amazing. This is the first garment I knit in like 100% wool with like no mohair or alpaca lace held together with. So it's my first time experiencing that, and yeah, it is like surprisingly not itchy at all. I do sense it on my neck. I can feel when it is like moving, but it is not uncomfortable, at least for me, to wear it, which I'm really glad about. Yeah, what else can I tell you? The fit. So I am gonna blend in some sort of b-roll so that you can see how it is fitting after many wears, and yeah, the fit is holding up great. I really like how it turned out. I was scared throughout the process that it was going to be too big, but it is actually really perfect. Since I am wearing a t-shirt under it, it is not too small. It has the perfect size for that. And obviously if I'm wearing a long sleeve or nothing under it, it feels a little bit more airy, which is also great. I am pretty sure that in the future I am going to knit another one of these, just because I really like how it is looking. I really like the fit, and I'm also already thinking about other projects that I could do with that yarn, because I just love it. I love that color. I also love how it feels, how it's holding up. It has like a little bit of fluff to it, even though there's no mohair or anything in it. It is just 100% sheep's wool, and I think it is just really, it looks lovely, it looks neat, but it also has a little bit of a fluff and a shine to it, and yeah, I'm super happy with that project. For now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching my project vlog of knitting the Oda Vest. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you like watching this video, consider giving a like and also subscribing to my channel. And I will see you next time. Bye!